Hi, my name is Newell Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to take a look at our Vermibag Max that has regular red wigglers in it. Now, this is a system that has been working for a long time for me, a few years now, I think. I'd have to double check the first video I put together for it, but it's been a really workhorse for me as far as a bin and a system itself. I really highly recommend these Vermibag systems. The bag systems in general work really well for those people who are looking to add material to the top and just take it right out of the bottom later on. So with that, this system hasn't been updated for a while. Last time I did add a shirt inside to kind of add a barrier. That's probably been eaten away by now. But with that, we're going to go ahead and add a whole bunch of food. We're going to add some of our output from our food cycler Eco 5 and some biochar or charcoal and probably a lot of water too to the system as it's probably a little bit dry. So with that, let's go take a look at the system and see how it's doing. All right, here is our Vermibag Max here. Going to go ahead and open this up. Take a look inside and see how things are going. So we're going to throw that over the back. It looks like we had some water buildup in here. Not sure what was over top to cause that, but oh my gosh, look at all this. The worms are really working really well in here. You can see there's a whole bunch on the lid here, along with some little bugs, and we got a millipede or two. I'm just trying to find them on here. I'm going to get them in camera, but there's a millipede or two on there as well. Millipedes are perfectly friendly. They're fine. You just don't want these centipedes. Now with that, look at this system on the top here. I'm just grabbing my glove. But look at this system. You can see the worms are right underneath here. There's plenty of moisture in this system. The sides are dried out. This is fairly normal for the Vermibag I have found. But look at this material in the middle. Look how good this material looks. Now you can see this shirt that I threw in here. It has really been chewed apart here. Still a lot of it left, but this is an all natural cotton shirt. Had it for many years, and it just sort of wore out and was not really not working for me anymore, which is why I kind of went in here. But you can see they've really chewed this apart. You can see that the entire middle section is almost missing. It's drying out a little bit. Well, there's quite a bit more here than I thought, but it's still, they did a really good job of this shirt, taking care of it. There's some little pieces in here, as you can see, like here you go, little piece of shirt. So you can see that they're really working through that. Oh my gosh, this is really compacted in here. But this material, oh wow, it just feels amazing. This would be perfect to add to my yard right now, even if I were to sort it out. We got a piece of what is that, corn right there. Corn on the cob section, I should say, not the corn kernels themselves. Plenty of worms in here, decent size. As I said, the side section, it's dry and goes way down here as far as the cardboard. That's not surprising. I do find that these systems tend to dry out on the sides because the bag is breathable on the sides. The air gets in, dries everything out. It's not a big deal though. You just gotta make sure you keep that center section moist, but you can see this is all just dried out now. All right, so with that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go pretty quick in this one, I think. We're just gonna go ahead and add this back in here, just like this. I'm just trying to get some of these worms off of here. They do need some moisture in here, so we are gonna add some water real quick. So I've got a bucket of water over here, because I'm gonna add a lot of water. Normally I would use my sprayer, but I don't think that that's going to be quite enough this time to really add in a good saturation in here, like this. So we're going to add in quite a bit of water. And you can see that shirt now is fully soaked. There we go. I think that's good for now. We're going to add more as we go, but that's a good start. You can see now this is soaked. Get able to get drops of water out of it. So now what we need to do is we're going to throw some food in here. I was hoping to kind of cover up all the worms here. I can't seem to get them all off of here. Normally, because I've got the food that I have that I'm going to throw in is frozen. But actually, you know what we could do? We could throw in some of maybe our dry bedding type material first, which is our output from our food cycler Eco 5 that I said I was going to be adding. I really do like this. I know there's a lot of people that don't like these grinding machines that grind up food and everything. I do like them for a couple reasons. One, they take food that I don't throw directly into my bins normally. Like I don't throw bones or fish skins or things like that directly into my bins. Those are going to smell too much. I'm going to add some more water here. And this allows me to grind all those up and actually add them to my bins, which I normally would never do. So for me, it's been a huge advantage to have these systems. I've got this one, and the Carfo is the other one that I have. But I found this to be incredibly helpful for just taking care of a lot of stuff that just would not go into my systems, or doesn't break down very well, like seeds, especially pits, you know, stone fruit. So it works really well for that. All right, now there we go. We've got that in there. Oh, you know what? I grabbed the wrong container. I will be right back with a different container. All right, that last container I got had chicken bones in it, which is not what I wanted to add. But this right here, this is going to actually have some water. We've got some ice here, but I can, again, just throw that right on top here since we've got a layer of material. But this right here is going to have some lemons and limes, or limes in it. I thought there was lemons too. Coffee grounds, asparagus. This is one of my normal feedings that I throw in here. So you can see right here, we've got a lot of frozen material in here. Just scraping this out. This has some tea leaves. There we go. Now we've got a good feeding going in here. This is actually going to have quite a bit more moisture than I thought. I'm just trying to keep some of this stuff in the center. The center is where everything seems to be being consumed. The outside is really kind of drying out. And I'm not going to just dump a whole bunch of water on the outside, so I kind of want to keep this centered. But there we go. As this thaws out, it's going to go ahead and leach into the material below from the food cycler. And then it's going to, the worms are going to come up into it. So with that, we are going to add, though, let me just grab some of my biochar here. And again, I'm going to show this bucket here. I've done this in multiple videos, but I have this is ground up charcoal that has been inoculated with fish water. So this actually is biochar. It's not just charcoal, really. But it's got, when I'm going to dump this in here, you're going to see it's very, very thick. It's almost like a mud. And I did this on purpose because this stuff is just really good to have as a, well, probably a grit. It's, you know, very porous as well for the water to get in. And it does actually absorb a lot of water and dry out a little bit. But at the same time, I just find that this stuff is really, really good. I find it, some of my systems seem to react really well with this being just in the system in general. So I think it adds a different texture, kind of breaks things up a little bit. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and grab one more thing of water here. You can see it's a little bit, I'm going to dump this around the sides, just kind of wet this a little bit. No reason to just have the water in the center, but it's good to have it in the center, but it doesn't, I can also get these outsides a little bit wet so that way they don't bleed over and just dry everything out as the water moves around. So with that, I do have a lot of material that I added to here, and there's something else that I need to add, and that is, of course, cardboard. I need to add something over the top here to kind of protect this. I'm going to take this glove off for just a second since it's pretty wet. And I'm going to reach into here. I've got my cardboard in a barrel right next door, or I should say a big leaf container. And look at this. You can just add this in just like this. You can see there's all sorts of different types of paper in there. Yes, machine paper is fine from your office. Cardboard is great. They'll all be consumed by the worms. No big deals. So there we go. Look at that. That's covered up. Now, I do like to kind of spray this down a little bit. I do have my sprayer over here. Hopefully you can reach. There we go. I'm just going to spray this down a little bit. I really do like having the sprayer. This is a battery-operated one from Rigid. I do have one, I think, on my list down below. It's probably the DeWalt version, which is also rated really well from Amazon. I'm just a Rigid guy, but I know a lot of people that are DeWalt or Milwaukee, Makita. They all sell them. So if you want one that's battery operated, I recommend going with the company that you have the most batteries with. All right, that's good for that. Just to add a little bit of moisture to the top. And that's actually running low on water. I need to refill that. But just to get everything just a little bit damp before I put this back on top with the worms that are on here. So now we're going to go ahead and put this back on top. Just like that. Look at that. There's just a little bit of space all around the top now. This water is going to run down. It's going to moisten everything up, and we are good to go. So with that, I'm going to cover this back up, and we'll come back again later. The worms are looking good in here. I didn't dig as deep, but I really, really need to do a harvest for this. Unfortunately, we're getting towards winter now, and a harvest is a little bit difficult with these systems during the winter. I've got to then store the material outside of the bag, but I'm probably going to have to do that. I know I have some friends that would like some of this material, so I'll probably will do that soon and get that over to them. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching.